best beard on YouTube, Collector's Confessions. In this, we go over the comics we bought for the week, and we chat about comics with whoever wants to chat about comics with us. We have been enjoying these week after week. I believe this is our 5th week. So what we do is we take what was bought this week at our local comic shop. Shout out to Jim Haley's Universe on Staten Island, JHU, where we get all our comics. We bought a whole bunch. I think this week is actually a small week. At the end of the episode, we go over how much I spent. We look at my receipt. We see how mad my wife probably got that I spent this. But we go over each comic that was bought. We talk about them for a minute. Then we go to the next one. If you have any questions, just pop them up in the chat. It would be great to hear from you and see if you bought the same comics we bought. First thing this week was a freebie. It was The Planet of the Apes. It's a free tells us a little bit about what's going on in the Planet of the Apes series. Planet of the Apes series has been fantastic. One of my favorite ones out there right now. I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan. This is Planet of the Apes Fall of Man. This was free. Free is always nice. This is our first Marvel comic this week. What is this? Ooh, another new Marvel must-haves. This has a couple stories in there. Stuff coming up. These free issues collect iconic stories spotlighting the characters and comic book stories at the forefront of pop culture. Handpicked to get fans in tune with current Marvel adventures, and they act as perfect jumping on points for new readers. So if you're a new reader, pick up this free Marvel must-have. This is like the second or third one I've gotten, isn't it? These are pretty cool. Another freebie. I got something in a... we'll look at that last. King Kong the Great War. We're very ape-oriented today. I am a huge King Kong fan, as a Planet of the Apes fan also. This has been a great series from Dynamite. Very, very interesting take. It takes place during World War II. There's some Germans on Skull Island. They crash land there. No, during World War One, some Germans crash land on Skull Island, and they're trying to survive. It's written by Alex Cox, with art by Tommaso Bianchi. Pick it up. It's been really good. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't been reading this, check this out at your comic shop. It's definitely worth it. Green Arrow number 10. This is from last week. I missed it on my pulls by mistake. Called them up, asked them to pull it for me, and they still had a copy, so luckily they gave it to me. This is absolutely fantastic. Been reading this. Good. One of the best series out there. Batman. This is Batman 145. There's been a lot going on in the Batman series lately. Batman Detective Comics. If you are a fan, pick this up. You're a Batman guy, you should be reading this. A lot of new stuff going on. A lot of new characters introduced. Definitely worth it. Shazam has been okay. Worth a read. As you can see, I buy a lot of DC stuff, even though I'm dressed in my Marvel attire. You see that I pick up DC and Marvel and Independence. I got a lot on my pull list. Here you go, Shazam. Check it out. This is one of my favorite comics going on right now because it's a continuation of a movie. Superman 78. This is issue number 6. This continues the story of Superman from the original movie in 78, which recently we went to see again. If you check back in our old videos, we were actually able to see it on the big screen again. And this continues the story. It's really, really good. It takes me back to 1978 when I first saw the movie as a kid. And Rob Venditti is doing a great job writing it. I hope that this becomes a regular monthly, not just a limited series. Art is fantastic. Story is fantastic. They can do a lot here. I'm hoping at some point they introduce other villains, and it just builds from where the original story goes. So if you're a Superman fan, check that out. If you're a fan of the movie. Blue Beetle 8, I'm actually behind on this. I haven't read it since issue number 2, so I'm not sure how good or not good it is. So if you're reading it, just let me know in the comments if this is worth me pulling out of the to-read box and reading it soon. I'm a little bit behind on all my stuff because of filming schedule and editing schedule here at our YouTube channel, so I have to forsake some things. Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong. This is a reprint of issue number 2. I wanted it because it has the Flash on it. So, there you go. Good cover. I do mail order for my... Oh, yeah. Really? And they come pretty good? And that you no damage when you do mail order. Yeah, I'm liking Batman way more than Detective now too. Detective, the covers aren't sitting well with me lately. Oh, that's cool. We actually had a convention here recently. KV Comics is a local comic vendor, and he rented out this classic theater called the St. George Theater, and it was a convention. And when you paid for your ticket for the convention, it included a ticket to see Batman '89 and Superman '78. So it was absolutely fantastic. No damn, I have to drive like 30 minutes both ways to go to my local comic shop, and it's here where I live. So I mean, mail order may be the way to go. How late do you get them though? That's the question though. How far off are you? Oh, since we're talking about Superman, Kneel Before Zod. I've been really enjoying this series. It's up to issue 4 already. It takes place. Zod has his own planet, and it's being invaded, and he's fighting off the invasion. He has a son, and this leads into the Sinister Sons, which is another series that's going on right now. But this has been good. Suicide Squad. This is issue 3. Kill Arkham Asylum. Haven't read issues 1 or 2 yet, so I'm really not sure if it's good or not. But listen, if you're reading it, let me know. I know a lot of people watch this after the live because 6 o'clock is a little hard for some people. So just comment if Suicide Squad. It's very thin, like compared to the other books. The actual comic book is very thin inside. So I gotta crack one of these open. One of my favorite ones, and one of the first things I read each week when I get it, is Aliens Black, White, and Blood. And the reason why it's Black, White, and Blood is because it is in black, white, and red. And it tells additional stories of aliens. I think I've said this every week. I really like what Marvel's doing with the 20th Century Studios line. So if you are a fan of any of the Alien movies, pick this up. It continues the story really well. I'm kind of keeping an eye out for that too when it comes out. Deadpool, Wolverine, World War III. Definitely worth it. Worth a pickup. Probably the best independent comic book out there right now. It's part of a bigger universe, Void Rivals 8. This takes place with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Here are some of the variant covers. Really, really good story by Robert Kirkman. Yes, the guy who brought you Walking Dead. Pick it up. I'm not going to tell you much about it. If you haven't seen this, if you missed it, pick up the first trade. I think it's the first 7 issues. I've been reading it since the first issue came out, just because I like Kirkman and I heard a lot of good things about it. It's really good. And I'm a sucker for old stuff. Marvel Secret Wars, they're reprinting them. This is issue number 4. They reprint them almost exactly how they looked, including the advertisements from like 1984. I bought these when these first came out. So when these first hit newsstands, back when I was a kid, Marvel Secret Wars was a big deal for me. The toy line and the comics it changed the Marvel Universe at the time. So everyone knows the big thing is a black costume, comes out with Spider-Man. The Thing actually leaves the Fantastic Four. Yeah, the black and white and red books are really good. Yeah, Darth Maul too. I just like that it's so contrasting with all the colors in the other books. The black, white, and red. This is good. Listen, look at even the back is. This is a time machine. Really, this is a time machine. This takes you back to 1984 when these comics, when you were a kid, or if you're a kid now, see what it was like when we were buying comics in 1984. Look at the advertisements. You could buy the toys. And you imagine buying Secret War toys there. What's the price? We didn't even guess. They are $2 something each. I wish I still had my Secret Wars figures. I have some of them up here in the basement, but they're open. I rebought them. 3 for $10. 3 for $10. No, how is that possible? How is 3 for $10 possible? Got another copy of this. If you need it, let me know. I could send it out to somebody. That's 2 copies of this. She-Hulk happens to be one of my favorite characters. Here's issue number 7. I've been enjoying her relationship. Jacka Hearts is like one of my 3rd favorite Marvel character for some reason. I can't tell you why. Iron Fist. Number 2 would probably be maybe Power Man, and then number 3 is Jack of Hearts. I like some weird characters in the Marvel Universe. But this series has been good. It's him appearing anytime he's in there. It's worth it. Power Pack number 4. I'm a sucker for Power Pack, 1990s greatness. This continues the story from the 90s because Franklin Richards is young and the Fantastic Four has been involved. This has been a great... Louise Simonson's writing again. She wrote the original one. We're actually trying to get her on the show. And the last thing I got this past weekend was the anniversary. Saturday was the 85th anniversary of the release of this. And this is another reprint. If you haven't already, look at our video where we talk about 10 things you might not know about Detective Comics 27. We discuss how who else is in a first appearance in here. There's another character besides Batman's first appearance. It's a first appearance of an important other things in the Batman universe that most people know. Everyone looks at it and says, "Oh, this is the first appearance of Batman." It's other things too. Part of my voice, I'm actually in the middle of a cold right now. So there you go. That's what we bought. What do you think the grand total is? The grand total this week is $61.88. Much lower than past weeks. If you haven't already, check out our interview. We interviewed Brian Buccellato. Brian Buccellato is the writer of this, which has been fantastic. Brian is the writer of Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong. He did a lot of work on Flash. He has a comic with Image right now called Midlife, and we actually were able to interview him, and he gave us a fantastic interview, talked to us for about an hour, points about, becoming a writer, what drove him to be a writer, him working with Francis Manapul, his people he likes to work with, characters he would want to work with in comic books. We also interviewed Michael Oeming recently. He is writing Blue Book right now. That interview's coming up soon. And this past week, we interviewed Jeremy Holt, who's doing Marvel What If. So if you are a fan of comic book creators, we've been lucky enough to have a bunch of them on recently, and there's a bunch of interviews already posted, and there's a bunch coming up. So if you haven't, subscribe to them now. Thanks for watching us. We love doing these live ones. I enjoy it. I do it every Thursday, 6 o'clock. Go over what I have. You guys want to chat a little bit longer. The more people get on here, the longer I'll stay on. But thank you for joining us. Our next video coming out this weekend, we are looking at, it comes out Saturday night. We went to a one-day comic book show called the One Day Comic Expo, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was like no other convention we've been to in the last couple of years. And if you watch it, you'll see why. And if you go to conventions, you'll be just as surprised as we are. We go to a lot of small conventions. This one surprised us a lot. So, love what you collect what you love. We will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Don't forget to like and share this. Become a subscriber if you're not subscribing. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Oh, wait. Good time. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you got to join it this week and didn't forget like you did last week. Join us every time at 6. We're going to try to get Brian on too, so we're both here together. We may do more lives during the week. We may do ones a little bit later. But thanks for joining, everybody. Everyone that joined us, thank you. Those of you who are watching it after the fact, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.